Does your car suck? Well, it could suck more, so I'm gonna break it down for y'all. This is a cold air intake. My GLI comes factory with a turbski. So that means that we need to bring air into the turbski, push it out of the turbski, and into the NG, right? So the point of having an upgraded air intake is to be able to move more air more efficiently into the turbo. Now we are on a hybrid turbo setup, which means we need more air to be brought into the car to make more power because we want to get the most out of our turbski. Now this can pretty much be applied to any car with a turbo, but we're going to be talking about specifically the MQB cars and kind of like the intake system on them and explain it. Now some intakes will come with an air dam that looks like this. Now mine is the Blaze Atom V2, so these are going to be a little bit different depending on your type of intake that you have. But this one specifically comes with an air dam, and basically the air is funneled through the air dam into this intake filter inside of this cone that keeps some of the heat out, and then it goes through this large silicon intake hose into our turbo inlet pipe that you can kind of see right there. So for the MQB cars, basically you have your intake, you have your intake hose, and then you have your turbo inlet pipe where the intake hose mates up to the turbo. And when you upgrade an intake, you typically also want to upgrade that turbo inlet pipe because that is going to basically remove a bottleneck from getting more air into the turbski. Now, not every single intake is going to come with things like an air dam, an intake hose, or even a turbo inlet pipe. I know on the Blaze specifically, it does come with all those things, and the turbo inlet pipe is actually, I believe, proprietary to that intake hose from the Blaze Atom intake. But there are plenty of other intakes, for example, like the APR PEX one that I had before, and that essentially is just an air box, uses your stock intake hose and your stock inlet pipe. You can also upgrade the intake hose and the turbo inlet pipe with that intake, which I did before I got the Blaze. So just kind of, depending on what type of intake you get, you might have to upgrade certain parts, or it might come with those certain parts. But overall, the objective of a good intake is really just to provide more airflow and of course make some super duper cool spoolie noises on the car that are like music to your ears. So if you're asking yourself the question,